How do you professionally say, "I never agreed to do that"? That sounds pretty good already. This does not reflect our agreement. Really depends on context, level of professionalism required, in-person versus email, client versus internal, etc. But here are a few responses or lead-ins to continued discussion. This is news to me. This falls outside of my normal purview. This is outside of my job function. This task is not associated with me. I do not recall any discussion regarding this. I apologize, but I feel as though there has been a miscommunication. This task should be assigned to X. Would you like me to loop them in, get you in contact with them? Quote, I believe this requires further discussion. My apologies. But I don't believe this was designated to me. I'm sorry. But I am not comfortable, available for handling this task. If you would like to discuss this further. I don't believe we touched base on this previously. This task was never placed within my scope of work and warrants further discussion. This is not an item that I was tasked with. I think you get it. Lots of professional ways to either say, no, that's not my problem, and also ways to say that while offering to help make it your problem. Or make it someone else's problem. Outside of the scope of my work. Thank you for my confidence in my abilities to assist you. Unfortunately, this goes beyond the purview of our original agreement. And I must decline, as my workload is already at capacity. My current workload is pretty demanding. And I don't quite recall agreeing to that. Could you point me to a message, email thread where we discussed this? Otherwise, as stated, my hands are pretty full right now, and whilst I appreciate the urgency of this task, I can't afford to allocate any time to it at present. Going forward, we can discuss tasks in quick meetings so that expectations are clear on both ends. I didn't sign off to that decision. I did not green light that idea. I didn't think we were moving forward with that plan. As a developer, we talk about statements of work, definition of done, and scope creep as ways of saying, let's mark clear boundaries of what we will and will not do. Before the scope of this project gets out of control, maybe your workplace needs to discuss these ideas a little more clearly so you can say, I don't think this was within the original scope of the project. This is not part of the job description I accepted. It was my understanding I would be doing XYZ and not this. Sorry, I don't recall that. Could you send me the email where it was said? Other duties as assigned. Refresh my memory. I do not recall this as being part of the agreement that was presented to me. Unless it was worded differently and I misunderstood what was being presented to me at the time. Depends on the situation. I have to do this often for things that just weren't part of the original request and get a lot of mileage out of saying it is out of scope for this project. This isn't in my scope of work agreement. Sorry, I think you might be mixing me up with someone else. We didn't talk about me doing this. No worries, just forward the original email to me and I'll get to it. I would like to clarify that I did not agree to do the task we discussed. Can we please discuss it further to find a solution that works for both of us? Issue at hand was never agreed upon. Depends on how forward you want to sound. If it's an employer, the above is a more professional option. If it's just a person, come out with it. I never agreed to that. When did we sign off on this?
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Eracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.